Can everybody hear me out there?
I don't hear you, Bhante.
No?
Uh-uh.
I don't know why
I
I'm
can
always
hear you.
Does anybody hear him?
It's very faint. I
waiting for Prashant to come. What is this? I didn't ask for this.
very low.
And we're having trouble with this feedback from this thing.
Hmm.
No, I don't see my sharing screen.
Oh, you had a shared screen?
Yes. I don't know. This happened last time. It was up and then I
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
see it went off. No.
And you shared it. Okay, then it will come. That's okay.
I had opened it already and I didn't close anything. It was opened already here.
Correct. By default it opens. We'll fix it later on. But what do you want to share?
The attachment that I sent out.
Huh.
Well, I have to get on my email now. Okay. Why does this happen every time? I don't do anything.
Yeah. So now just share it. Open the title.
No, I need my. I want to close this. I want to.
Yeah, just minimize it, but they don't close it.
I want to get on my Bhante Rahula thing.
Okay,
It's
okay.
blocking.
I know. You can remove it.
Yes. Now give me this. So here, I had already opened this and it was
Yeah,
waiting
I
in
know,
there. Why is it closed?
Because it's people can see it. This is being shared. Don't worry, don't move
I
it.
don't need this one, right?
Yeah, you can close it. Yeah, it's being shared. Yeah, it's being shared, Bhante. Now you stop sharing it.
Yeah.
So now you want to share it again. Okay. All right. Let's start. And then
Now I was having feedback from this mic. I don't know.
let me check.
Oh, I'm gonna pause it.
Leave it, put it on.
Okay, friends. We're going to start with the Namo Tassa and three refuges. As soon as Prashant stops the feedback. Okay, we'll try it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start the reciting Namo Tassa for those who like to join. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Sanghang Saranang Gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Welcome, friends, to this Wednesday evening Dhamma discussion and meditation practice. So I hope we won't have too many technical glitches. Here's something, volume is low, huh? I don't know. How many people have the volume? You can't hear me very well. Just raise your hand.
Okay. All right.
I put on a headset and that helped. So
Is it better now, the volume?
with the headset on.
With the headphones, it's better actually. We have to wear headphones.
I don't have him.
Just a second. What is this? Select this
Yeti.
microphone. Yeti, where is Yeti?
Oh, that's speaker microphone. I don't know what microphone. Scarlet Solo.
No, and where is the Yeti? General. All the microphone has come back. Okay, it's not like a Scarlett Solo.
That's Yeti microphone.
Okay, Scarlett Solo, right? Okay, hold on.
Okay, I'm going to be getting on the screen share. I think
Can you hear better now? Can you put the speak? Can you hear us better?
Can you hear this better now? I don't see anybody shaking their heads, so I don't think so.
The echo sound like if you use the external microphone. So this way is better
This
for
one is
me.
better?
For me because I'm wearing headphones. Yeah.
Okay, so I hope everyone was able to get the mailing I sent out with the subject for this evening's discussion. So I'm going to put that up on the share screen. Hopefully it'll come out okay. So I thought that this evening we would discuss this interesting topic. Now, even in the Buddhist suttas, the Buddha had talked about people having different temperaments. And this information has been kind of more detailed in the Visuddhimagga, which is an important Theravada Buddhist text, which goes into a lot more detail of things that the Buddha had said. And so this is talking about the three temperaments, or what they call charitas in Pali. It's a temperament or the habitual conduct or a personality type that people are normally fall into. And the unwholesome ones are normally the three unwholesome roots are greed, aversion, or delusion, or greed, hatred, and delusion. Usually it's talked about in that way, greed, hatred, and delusion. So people fall into one of those three temperaments. Actually, it's not one of them. We have parts of all of them within us, each person. And all these things come from past lives, the accumulated past life experience. So when a person is born, depending on what they may have had in a past life, they have a more greedy temperament, but still they also have hatred or aversion, and they also have delusion. But one of those stands out over the other ones normally. So this is the way that it is explained, and I hope you can read that. So the greedy temperament, and then these have three sort of what are called parallel wholesome temperaments. So you can read it on the screen there. The greedy temperament is paired with the faithful temperament. The hating temperament is paired with the intelligent temperament. And the deluded temperament is paired with the discursive or speculative temperament. And so you can read this, what it says there. It's essential to understand these pairs are not simple opposites. The relationship is more nuanced, relating to the direction or object of a particular mental energy. For instance, the greedy personality is characterized by greed that seeks out sense desires as its object. And the faithful personality has faith that seeks out the special qualities of virtue and the three jewels, the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. So you can say greed and desire, these have different nuances. Crass greed or obvious greed is for the material stimulations of the senses, whereas the desire, sometimes called chanda, is the desire for Dhamma, and the desire for the three, faith in the three jewels, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, that seeks out the Dhamma. So it's still a kind of a desire, but it's rated, rooted in, the faith. And there's other qualities of the faith we'll look at in a minute. Similarly, the hating personality seeks out unreal faults, or maybe they're real faults, and condemns living beings. While the opposite, or the intelligent, the parallel intelligent personality, seeks out the real faults in conditioned phenomena. So it has aversion to greed, hatred, and delusion. It has an aversion to having hindrances. And it has aversion to the things that are blocking our ability to make progress in the Dhamma. Has aversion to our ignorance. So we seek out Dhamma and ways to practice Dhamma that will help to weaken the greed, hatred, and delusion. And in the restlessness, the deluded personality is characterized by the restlessness of perplexity and confusion, while the discursive speculative personality has a restlessness from the tendency to just think too much, think over various aspects of things without resolution. So the Visuddhimagga identifies these temperaments as dominant hindrances to be overcome on the spiritual path. And this is in contrast to the modern personality evaluations that typically aim to measure relatively stable or neutral traits for descriptive and predictive purposes. So the crucial element in the Visuddhimagga model in talking about these temperaments is not just for mere description or self-understanding, but it's pragmatic. It serves as a diagnostic tool for the kind of meditation subjects that will be suited for overcoming those grosser negative personality traits. So, for example, the person with a temperament rooted in aversion is usually prescribed the practice of loving kindness or metta bhavana, as it is seen to be, it helps to counteract anger and ill will towards other ones. And a person with a greedy temperament is guided to meditate on the impure or unattractive or dangerous aspects of being attached to the body in order to practice, to cultivate disenchantment with sensual pleasures. In other words, the greedy temperament, when he sees a person, he's always looking out for their beautiful characteristics, what they perceive as a beautiful characteristics. Oh, I like a person with blonde hair, or this kind of a nose, or this kind of skin, and so on. So they're attracted to these sensual attractions, whereas the person, so the meditation is to see how these attractive aspects can easily be changed to unattractive aspects. Some real, attractive personality, if they get in an accident and then become disfigured and disformed, then they're going to lose that, that attractive external, look, right? So some people might not then find them attractive anymore. They may not even want to like them anymore. But the person might still have a beautiful mind, for example. So anyway, so that's the reason given for the explanation of these temperaments. Now, this is a very interesting part now, that these are some questions that have been given, examples of a person with a craving temperament. And it's sort of a questionnaire that they can ask them, answer these questions, and to see if they have one of these kind of temperaments. So the greedy temperament is characterized by strong attachment to sensual pleasures, a desire for beautiful and pleasing objects and experiences, and it manifests in our actions as pride, as cunning, meticulous in appearance and surroundings. So these are just some typical ways that greed or desire, sensual desire, manifests. And the analysis of these items assess how well they capture these various traits. So there was a question. If you're reading this questionnaire, you can read this to yourself and see if that pertains to you. It gives me immense pleasure to acquire material possessions, such as clothes, gadgets, etc. And that would be a pertinent characteristic. And it's this justification. This item directly captures the essence of the greedy character, greedy temperament, which is defined as greedy or passionate attachments to material objects. Then another question is, I believe the path to happiness in life lies in being rich, powerful, and famous. And so that's also pertinent to this kind of personality. It probes the underlying belief system that fuels the craving, while the text focus more on sensual objects, desire for wealth, power, and fame, or extension of the craving, and so on. So you can read these along. Then this third question, if you were answering this questionnaire, it is important that my surroundings should be neat, clean, and beautiful. So this is said to be also a pertinent characteristic. It consistently highlights a meticulous nature and appreciation for beauty and order. It doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but it's simply It contrasts with the untidy nature associated with a person that has a hating or deluded personality. And number 4, I crave for pleasures of the senses in food, drink, and sex. Now, this is absolutely a pertinent characteristic of this, of the greedy temperament, as you can read. And number 5, it's important for me to be considered preeminent amongst my peers. So this is also another pertinent identification of a person with a greedy temperament. It effectively measures the trait of pride, which is described as a key characteristic of the raga personality, alongside greed and cunning, the desire for fame, the desire for being known as the best, and so on. We can see that in some politicians especially, but won't mention names. I take great care that my personal appearance is attractive to others. This is also a pertinent item. I'll just let you read those. I'm not going to read them all. And I walk with an even and buoyant tread. Now this sounds like a kind of a funny trait, but in the text it is mentioned that it aligns with the description of the greedy type as being meticulous, fond of beauty, concerned with appearances, the desire to be attractive. But, you know, in some other tests, it could be seen as a less pertinent characteristic, or some people have even answered it as a not pertinent. I walk with an even and buoyant tread. So again, you know, some of these things you might think, well, what does that have to do with the greed and so on? But, you know, these are just models again that give some ideas. Because again, we have elements, we're not always greedy. We have elements of aversion in us too. That's why we were born, in fact, and delusion. But the ones that show the obvious, you know, greed, then those are the ones we can clearly see. And number 9, I have a high opinion about myself. Politicians, especially one is in the news quite a bit these days, we can see all of his, or that person's, you know, ego-related talk. So, now here's number 10. This questionnaire lists this as less pertinent. I work evenly and methodically at my undertakings. So this could be associated with a greedy personality, but it's also an intelligent. It pertains to somebody with an intelligent personality, to be methodical and things like that, not so much in aesthetics. So therefore, this is an example of how, you know, it could be a less pertinent and not an obvious trait. Okay, let's go on to the analysis of the hating temperament. So this person is a tendency toward anger, ill will, jealousy, criticism, pessimism, and so on, as you can read. So the first question in this category is, I have strong dislike for specific people. Okay, that's a pertinent characteristic. It captures the core of dosa, even easily having hatred or aversion to anybody who believes different than you, looks different from you, or various things like that. And I frequently fly into a rage when contradicted in an argument. So that's another highly pertinent behavioral indicator. I tend to get jealous at the success of others. So this also is, jealousy is also rooted in aversion, a kind of aversion and so on. I am gloomy and pessimistic towards life. Now, this is a less pertinent characteristic of an angry or hateful type of person. It could be a deluded personality also. Or it could be, again, there's aspects of the other personalities that are, included in this. I do not like to share my knowledge with others. I am highly critical of others, picking out faults of people all the time and overly critical. Wrongdoings fill me with hatred, even though I may not be personally involved. So it also is considered a pertinent characteristic, but again, there could be less pertinent things. I'm frequently involved in quarreling with others. Well, because we're clinging to our own views, and we're angry if somebody has a different view than us, because that makes us want to have to think about our own views, and we don't like to have to question ourselves. We think we're always right, and so on. I tend to have more enemies than friends, and I do not forgive with ease. Now, number 9, I tend to have more enemies than friends. It says that this is a less pertinent characteristic because it could be associated also with moha, delusion, or some other traits. So let's go on to the characteristic of delusion. A key, so a deluded type usually is a person has doubts, or they're unsure of things, or they think that they believe in things that are not really true, or they, and so on. So this question, I am very disorganized in my approach to any task. So anyway, you can read along with me. I'm not going to go and read all of those. It takes too long. I rarely complete a task on my own. Both of those are pertinent to a deluded character. I'm unable to make up my mind on any issue that's pertinent to a moha or deluded temperament. Frequently, I feel lost and insecure. It's said to be pertinent. I feel very restless and impatient when asked to wait. That could be a less pertinent. It's pertinent, but maybe less pertinent, important than maybe some of the others that you can read there. I cannot concentrate for long on any task. It may be also less pertinent, but And I'm very hesitant and clumsy in my movements. So you can read what it says there. It captures a psychosomatic aspect of the moha temperament. Text described the deluded type as having a slipshod posture and being clumsy. But, it could be some other things too affecting that. I keep my surroundings untidy and cluttered. Again, that's less pertinent. It could be some other characteristics. I tend to worry about future outcomes, and I tend to get agitated over many issues. So these last 3 are considered to be less pertinent because they could have, aspects of other personality traits on them too. So that shows how people have a balance or, a mixture of various traits. But usually when push comes to shove is when the authentic types of personality traits come out in a person. Okay, now we're going to go to the three more positive traits. The faithful character. I participate joyfully in religious festivals. I have sincere faith in my religion or spirituality. So those two are considered to be, obvious signs of a person who has faith in whatever they, believe in, whatever religion or dharma they believe in. And three, I am very honest and truthful. That certainly could be true, but there could be some other factors involved in that too. I have great trust in the spiritual leaders of my faith. Okay, that's a pertinent relative factor. I donate generously to charitable causes. That's also considered to be a pertinent characteristic. I believe it is important to live by ethical principles, like especially the trainings in the Buddhism, of course, the sila, believe in the importance of living by, the 5 precepts and importance of practicing, developing the mind through mindfulness, concentration. It gives me great pleasure to listen to spiritual discourses, Dhamma talks, and so on. Yes, if a person didn't have faith, they're going to say, what is this mumbo jumbo, all that kind of stuff, I'm very straightforward in dealing with others. That may be less pertinent. And visits to religious or spiritual sites make me feel glad. Strong indicator of a faithful temperament. I shun all forms of manipulation and guile. Is considered a less pertinent trait. Because the justification for that is it's a measure of integrity. An intelligent person would also shun a manipulation out of wisdom. This is not a specific enough to the faithful person's unique characteristics. So these are the way we can use these other things when we notice that. Now we go on to the intelligent temperament. Now this should not be confused with conventional intellect or IQ. The buddhi or the panya, wisdom, is the capacity to see the true nature of reality, to see anicca, dukkha, and anatta. And it's a wholesome parallel to the hating type. It manifests, the buddhi, intelligent, manifests as emotional regulation, careful consideration, accurate assessment, and a reliance on reason over blind faith or impulse. So the question is, I never take decisions when I am angry. So that's is pertinent to an intelligent character. I learn quickly regarding my studies. That may be less pertinent to the development of wisdom. I mean, a person could be highly intelligent and get good grades in ordinary school subjects and so on, and can study, but when it comes to the development of wisdom, especially wisdom and insights into the more nature of reality, that's a different type of intelligence or knowledge. So it's important to understand that meaning of intelligence. Now, like somebody like Einstein, he was intelligent, but he also had that understanding that, I think when one person, he said if he believed in any religion, Einstein said he would have chosen Buddhism because it, made more intelligent sense than just believing in a blind faith in something else. So my assessment of persons and situations is generally accurate. In any work, I consider all possibilities before taking action. Once I take a decision, I pursue my goals with urgency. That's considered maybe less pertinent. And the next one, I have good powers of concentration for any given task. That could be less pertinent because, again, it's not about just getting anything done, but it's using the wisdom that sort of it comes through the practice of the Dhamma and the ability to have a deeper level of insight and intuitive kind of knowledge. I am very selective in my choice of friends. It's considered pertinent. I'm very disciplined in my personal habits, maybe not so pertinent. I believe careful reflection should precede any decision, and that's an intelligent assessment. Okay, now we come to the last category, the speculative or discursive personality. A person who likes to think a lot, obsessive thinking, which is called the vitaka charita. I'm given to excessive thinking, pertinent. I'm in the habit of undertaking many activities at once, but not rarely finishing any of them, pertinent. I make many plans mentally, but I'm unable to carry them out, pertinent. I love to party, well, that's less pertinent because, people may still love to party, or the next one, I love to gossip, are considered to be less pertinent, but still pertinent, but less pertinent. I'm very argumentative by nature. I get bored easily with any task. I talk a lot on a variety of subjects. It's pertinent. I believe the novelty is the spice of life. It's considered pertinent. I have many hobbies and interests. That's a logical outcome of the discursive temperament. A mind excuse me, I talk too much. I must have a speculative temperament. Talk too much, I lose my voice. Okay. Okay, friends, that's what I want to basically to go over, just to give you some kind of an idea of these temperaments and how they kind of fit in our, study and practice of the Dhamma, understanding those negative ones in our mind, the greed, hatred, and delusion, but also of those parallel categories, and also the types of meditation that help to weaken those negative categories. As we saw, I think, above, you see, go back up here. The metta bhavana is recommended for people with a hating temperament. The asubha bhavana recommended for people with the greedy temperament. And then the discursive temperament is said to the practice of anapanasati, or mindfulness of breathing, which helps to calm the excessive thinking of the mind, to calm the discursive mind. So friends, I think I'm going to stop with this here, and you can look this up on your own, and you can download it on your own if you want to, by going back to the email I sent out. And get that link and download it if you're interested. Okay. So does anybody have any questions now that came up? I don't see anything in the chat box. Anybody recognize any of those traits in oneself that we went over? Okay, Ishira, you have a question?
Yeah, yes, Bhante, Sadhu. There's the first page of what you have read today. There's a little bit I didn't understand the unwholesome roots image, like the deluded temperament, moha charita, is paired with the discursive speculative temperament, vitakka charita. So my question is, so this moha charita and vitakka charita, like discursive, both are unwholesome, am I right? Here.
No, the discursive one is not necessarily unwholesome.
Yeah, but it's overthinking, like
Yeah,
like a
but
rest.
it's not necessarily thinking about bad things. It could be overthinking about the Dhamma. Let's say, you're caught up in too much thinking that you can't gain concentration, or so on. Or just, worried about other things. I mean, sure, there may be some negative characteristics to it, but it's not, all necessarily negative. But it's a parallel, as it says. It's thinking about deluded temperament would be thinking about, let's say, believing in all these conspiracy theories, just deluded, and whereas somebody with a vitakka might be genuinely interested to find out, but they just have they can't concentrate so well, because they're just too much, their mind is too much thinking about various sort of things and jumping around.
So here, overthinking means like if you overthink about Dhamma, it's fine, right?
Well, if it's to the point that you cannot gain concentration, then you need to practice more anapanasati, to calm the thoughts down.
So if we, so yeah, what I don't understand, like if we overthink or thinking, or if it is restlessness or anything like, so that means we cannot gain concentration, am I right?
Yes, it's a hindrance, yes.
So it's so is it unwholesome?
Well, it's unwholesome, yes.
Okay.
But it's not as unwholesome as having hatred and not forgiving somebody and all these real heavy types of things. But in terms of preventing our mind from gaining a deeper concentration that would lead to gaining, the paths and the fruits, yes, we have to be able to weaken those hindrances in order to gain that level of concentration.
Okay. Thank you, Sadhu.
Anybody else have any questions or comments on those?
No, it's just pretty fascinating. And I think that, excuse me, at different times in my life, I've been like one or the other more so, like the anger type at one point, then more greed, and it changes, right?
Yes. Yeah, because it changed on it's they're triggered off by the day-to-day circumstances, and some of them take more. You've heard the term pushing one's buttons, right? So some things may cause you to get angry very quickly. Other things may not. You may not get too angry about them or as quickly, unless you're pressed over and over and over again, and so on. So we can see the ones that come out very quickly and easily are probably going to be stronger traits. But again, these are just guidelines that, you know, in your meditations, it's actually good to, if you catch yourself caught up in a train of thought, you can say, oh, okay, this is you know, there's aversion arising toward this person, or there's desire arising for something. Now, those things by themselves are probably not going to cause much harm, because again, it's the three levels of craving, grasping, and becoming. So a thought of desire, aversion by itself, if you notice it with mindfulness and you let go of it rather quickly without indulging in that type of emotion, then it's that means you have that, you know, the mindfulness is and the concentration is the counteractive toward getting carried away in these thoughts, and that you can apply your mindfulness, and then the craving doesn't turn into grasping, and then the grasping is a stronger form of the craving, but you still can apply wisdom, and you can reflect on that, and it can help to avoid actually creating the karmic action that strengthens the karma. So that's why we have to apply the Dhamma practice, is about not allowing these initial thoughts to get carried away in them, especially the negative ones. You know, get what is called the transition from craving to grasping. Craving or aversion by itself cannot hurt you unless you grasp at it, cling to it, and said, yes, I have the right to act like this. I have the right to, you know, whatever. So, and then you do it, and then you create karma. You strengthen that you know, that temperament, that that character. And so the whole practice of Dhamma is about, you know, weakening those impulses that create the karma. But, you know, it takes, you know, and these things are accumulated over lifetimes. It's not that you're just, you know, kind of born with them. Yes, we're kind of born with them in terms of we brought these things with us, but it depends on the way you live your life, whether those things are going to come out and take precedence, or other qualities are going to come out and take precedence too. Okay. Okay, friends, so if there's no other questions, or I don't see anything in the chat box, so, but, you know, feel free to, you know, go back and, you know, open the attachment, the link that I sent out, and download it, print it out if you want. And you can use that as a kind of a reference if you like. Okay? So we'll take a few minutes and come back and do some yoga, breathing, and stretching, and then have our meditation. See you back in a few minutes. so try to stand straight. Relax your shoulders and arms at the sides. And just gently close your eyes. Just feel your feet pressing the floor. Try to feel the height and the weight of the body over the feet. See if you can feel that outline of the standing body in the mind's eye. And begin some deep, slow breathing, taking 2 or 3 seconds to expand the abdomen, rib cage, and upper chest. Hold the air in the lungs for 2 or 3 seconds, and slowly breathe out. Try to feel the last bit of air go out of the lungs. And the next in breath, just take a few more deep, slow breaths, cultivating this present moment awareness. Breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Breathing out, standing here and now. Breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Breathing out, standing here and now. Breathing in, feeling the whole body. Breathing out, feeling the whole body. Now we'll combine this breathing with these coordinated movements, repeating each one 3 times. So on the next in-breath, raise the arms over the head, interlock the fingers, turn the palms up, straighten the arms, stretch the head back, stretch up, feel the sensation. And release the fingers, the out-breath, arms back to the sides. Feel the last bit of air go out to the lungs. Next in-breath, again, stretch up, bend back a bit. Feel the arch in the lower spine. Feel the sensation. Out breath, arms back to the side. Once more, in. Stretch up, bend back a little more, hold it a little longer. Out breath. Feel the last bit of air go out as the arms come down. And relax. Close your eyes. Keep feeling the body. Don't have a discursive mind, the mind wandering. Just remember standing, standing. And the next in breath, lift up on the balls of the feet while raising the arms over the head. Face the hands toward each other about 6 inches apart and stretch up. The out breath, come back down. Feel the air come out of the lungs as you lower the arms back. And again, in breath. Use the in breath to help lift up the body. Stretch. Out. Once more, in. Stretch. Close the eyes, keep feeling the body, feel the increased sensations, clothing touching the outer skin, pulsations under the skin, tingling, prickly sensation. Letting go of your thoughts. Remember standing, standing, standing. Okay, next we'll do side bending using both arms. On the in-breath, raise both arms up. On the out-breath, bend over your right side. Keep the arms parallel to each other. Feel the bend in the side. In-breath, lift up. And the out-breath, the other side. In. Keep alternating sides with the breathing. Once more to each side.
Fascinating monuments in the world. The Statue of Liberty from Ken Burns. Watch it on Vita Plus.
The out breath, lower both arms. Close the eyes. Feeling the body. Feel the outline of the standing body. Feeling the clothing touching the outer skin. All the other pulsations, sensations. Any little aches or pain. Remember standing, standing, standing. Continually remember standing is applied thought, whereas random, scattered thinking is, a negative trait of mind. But applied thinking, keeping the mind on the object, is a wholesome aspect of thinking, especially in meditation. Okay, now spread the feet apart about 3 feet. Now place the hands together at the chest. On the in-breath, hands over the head. On the out-breath, hands to the chest and bend the knees, lower the body down, try to keep the back upright, and stretch in your hips, knees. In-breath, come back up, hands over the head. Second time, try to come down a little farther. In. Third time, hold that position a little longer. In. The out breath, arms back to the sides. Feel the air go out. Feel each foot pressing the floor. Feel the hands or fingers touching the legs. Feel clothing touching the skin. Just remember standing. Feel the head balanced on top. Feel your face. The eyes in the socket. Okay, now hold the arms out to the sides. We'll do twisting from right to left to give the spinal column a lateral twist. So breathe in. On the out breath, twist to the right. Keep your eyes focused on the hand going back. In breath, come back to the front. And let your feet turn a little bit as you twist to the left, the out breath. In breath, front. Keep alternating sides. Out breath to the right. In breath, front. Out breath, left. In front. Once more to each side. Lower the arms. Feel each foot pressing the floor. Feel hands touching the legs. Clothing touching the skin. Feel increased heartbeat or pulsations. Just any other kind of sensations. So many different sensations coming and going in the body. Itchy, prickly sensation, aches or pain. Now bring your legs back together. Head turning from right to left. Keep the chin lifted level with the floor. Relax the rest of your body. On the in-breath, turn your head to the right. Try not to turn your shoulders, just pivot the head on the neck vertebrae. If you have a stiff neck, be careful. Look over your right shoulder. And on the out breath, turn the head all the way back to the left. Look over the left shoulder. In breath, back to the right. Out breath, left. Once more to each side. The in-breath, let the head stop in the center. Keep the eyes closed, keep feeling the body. present moment, body-centered awareness. Feel that increased aliveness in the whole body. Clothing touching the outer skin, other pulsations under the skin. Just know that it's just billions and billions of cells, molecules, atoms, electrons, intermingling, interreacting, keeping this body alive. That's part of intelligence. Buddhi. Okay, now just one last exercise, the backward and forward bending, so just be careful with the back bends, not to bend back too far the first time. Keep the palms facing outward so the little fingers touch together. On the in-breath, raise the hands up level with your eyes. Begin spreading the arms out to the sides as you bend back on the out-breath. Keep your eyes open. Feel the bend in the spine. Carefully lift up on the in-breath, keeping the arms out at the sides. And on the out-breath, lower the arms and hands down towards the floor. Try to keep your legs straight. Let the little bones in the lower spine stretch out. And begin lifting up. And turn the palms outward, in-breath. Raise the hands, out-breath, spread them out to the sides, bend back. In-breath, lift up. Out-breath, downward stretch. Once more, in, out. In. Third time, try to hold a downward stretch longer. Keep the legs straight. The little bones in the lower spine stretch out. Begin lifting up. In breath, hands together at the chest. Out breath, hands to the sides. Close the eyes. Feel all that organic aliveness. All the deep breathing and the movements. It's created all this kinetic energy, activated the electrons and atoms, which in turn energize the cells. Feel those subtle vibrations as a deep state of awareness. The development of higher intelligence. Okay, so let's come back to our seats, get ready for the sitting.
ある日、今ね、予告のビラがまかれたんです。それでね、アメリカ合衆国大統領、トルーマンより、広島の近づかその恐ろしやかでこう、
Get comfortable in the sitting position. Okay, friends, try to sit straight. So line the back of your head and spine in a straight line. Feel the head balanced on top of the spinal column. Try to find that center of gravity of the head and the spine over the hip. A tipping point where the body could either tip forwards or backwards. Just gently close your eyes. Sort of imagine that your body is like a pyramid at the top of your head, the top of the peak of the pyramid. If you're sitting in a cross-legged position, like the knees, the foundation of the pyramid, knees and buttocks. Just feel that contact, the body pressing the seat. Start to feel the outline of the body, sense of the head on top. Feel your eyes in the sockets. Relax the shoulders. Feel your hands touching together. Feel the buttocks pressing the seat. Or feel the inward curve of the lower spine. Helps you keep the body erect, straight. Feel the way your knees are bent, your feet tucked underneath. Just the sitting body as it is. Just mentally remind yourself of sitting, sitting. Just develop that discursive, that vitaka of thinking on one object, or two objects, sitting and breathing. It's an antidote for scattered thinking. So begin taking some deep, slow breaths again, like we did in the yoga. Feel the expanding, contracting of the lower, middle, and upper chest. Hold the air in the lungs for 2 seconds and slowly breathe out. Take a few more deep breaths like that, developing this mindfulness. Breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Hold the breath in a second. Breathing out, sitting here and now. Feel the last bit of air go out. Breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Breathing out, sitting here and now. Breathing in, feeling the whole body. Breathing out, feeling the whole body. Now we're going to try counting our breaths from 1 to 10 to see if you can count to 10 breaths without the mind getting lost, getting carried away in discursive thinking. So just develop this one-pointed thinking, intelligent thinking. With the next in-breath, mentally count to 1. Hold the breath a second. With the contracting out-breath, also count to 1. Feel the last bit of air go out. Next in-breath, 2. Out-breath, 2. In, 3. Out, 3. In, 4. Out, 4. In, 5. Out, 5. In, 6. Out, 6. In, 7. out 7, in 8, out 8, in 9, out 9, in 10, out 10. As the breath goes out, try to follow that out breath down to the end. Try to hold the breath out without breathing in for a couple of seconds. And let the breath come back in when it's ready. Keep your attention focused on the breathing, but discontinue the deep, slow breathing. Just let the breath come back in on its own. Might be shorter. Continue to observe it, to feel the movements, the subtler movements of expanding and contracting. Especially try to feel where the clothing rubs against the skin of your stomach, rib cage, or chest. It expands and contracts, creating friction, sensation. Just make that the primary focus of your applied thought. Just breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Breathing out, sitting here and now. You feel like being a scientist looking down through a microscope, observing an experiment. This experiment of breathing. Just try to notice all the different little sensations of expanding and contracting. Try to feel the beginning, the middle, and the end of the in-breath. Beginning, the middle, and end of the out-breath. To feel the brief pauses between the breath. The expanding in-breath and the brief pause. The contracting out-breath and the brief pause. It helps you to stay focused. If you have more thoughts, do some more regulated deeper breathing to help stay concentrated. Breathing in, letting go of the past and the future. Breathing out, sitting here and now. Just letting go of your thoughts. Just let your thoughts come and go in the back of the mind. And keep the breathing body in the front of the awareness, like you were looking into a mirror, a collage of sensations, some sensations from your head, hands, feet, clothing touching the skin. Creating the outline perception of this breathing body. Just try to notice how each breath is different. Sometimes it's longer, sometimes shorter. Sometimes you feel the sensations more in the abdomen, sometimes you feel it more in the chest. It's always changing. If you catch the mind lost in thoughts, recognize it as lost. Or thinking. Take a deep, slow breath. Bring the mind back into the body. Take a few deep, slow breaths to re-center, anchor the attention in the body. Breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Breathing out, sitting here and now, feeling more and more and subtler sensations. Breath by breath, moment by moment. Allowing the body and mind to relax more and more with each out breath. If you want to think about something, just think how this body is just made up of billions of cells, molecules, atoms, electrons. All these sensations you're feeling are basically just these vibrations of atomic vibrations, molecular, cellular vibrations. It's basically just condensed energy. This would be a form of intelligence, a higher intelligence. Just opening up to that flow of impermanence. All those cells, molecules, atoms constantly changing. Be aware of the stream of thoughts moving through the back of the mind, waiting for a chance to sneak in and steal your attention. The development of awareness is being able to feel the subtle sensations in the body, and to be aware of any thoughts moving through the back of the mind at the same time. Meditation is keeping the mind in the middle, not getting carried away in the body, not getting carried away by the mind. Just moment to moment awareness. The breathing silently moving in and out in the background. Or in the front of the mind. Mindfulness and concentration together. Concentration is the ability to keep the mind feeling the breathing body. The mindfulness is being aware of any thoughts trying to steal your attention away. Anytime the mind loses its focus, come back and do some deep, slow breathing. Keep the mind awake, alert, centered in the body. Just breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Breathing out, sitting here and now. This present moment, body-centered awareness. Just observing, feeling the five aggregates of material vibration, pleasure, pain, perceptions, thoughts. Constantly coming and going. through this breathing body awareness. You have a good sense of that impermanence, constantly changing sensation, without too many thoughts. Just try to feel like being an empty house with nobody home to answer the call, knocking on the doors and windows. That silent awareness. Just allowing any remaining sense of I, me, or mine gradually fade away, like the ice cube melting in water. Just as the breath, body lets go of the breath on the out breath, the awareness let go of any sense of I, me, or mine. Nati janam apanya cha panya nati ajaitu yam hi janan cha panya cha siri nibbana santiki dukkha pata jani dukkha bhaya pata jani bhaya sokha pata jani sokha hontu sabbe pipanino. There's no meditation without the wisdom, no wisdom without meditation. One who both meditates and is wise is close to peace and freedom. And may the suffering be free from suffering. May the fear-struck be free from fear. May the grieving be free from grief. In this way may all beings live with mindfulness and wisdom. And thus spoke the Buddha. Now I invite you to finish this meditation by joining in chanting the word sadhu 3 times slowly. Do that chanting on a long out breath to feel those vibrations resonating in the body and mind. So take a deep breath. Breathe. Breathe. Now place your hands at the edge of your knees. Take one more in-breath. You should stretch the head back, pull the hands against the knees to arch the spine. And lift the head up on an in-breath, and on the out-breath, press the chin to the top of the chest to stretch the neck vertebrae. And lift up the chin level on the in-breath. And relax on the out-breath. Put a smile on your face. Okay, friends. So I hope hope that you're able to have some good mindfulness concentration and some insights. And so during this next week, try to be aware of any of those sort of personality traits arising in the mind, try not to get carried away in them. Apply the appropriate antidotes, practice the M&Ms, stopping every hour for 1 minute, take a couple of deep, slow breaths, touch base, come back to the body in the present moment. Okay? So, until we meet again, be well, be safe, be mindful, be wise, and Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya. Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.